It was close to midnight when Ethan Clarke, a travel journalist known for uncovering strange and forgotten places across America, found himself rerouted by a violent storm. The main highway was flooded, so his GPS pushed him onto an isolated road, County Route 19, deep in the forests of Pennsylvania. The road twisted through darkness like a vein through the earth, no lights. No cars, only the endless sound of rain tapping against the windshield and the soft static from a radio signal that had long died. Ethan rubbed his eyes. He had been driving for 14 hours. All he wanted was a small motel, a bed, maybe a hot coffee. Then the GPS glitched. A new name flashed on the map. Ravenfall population, 148, Ravenfall. He had never heard of it. And Ethan had written guidebooks on nearly every forgotten town from Maine to Arizona. Intrigued and desperate for rest, he followed the route. A faded wooden sign appeared at the road's edge. "Welcome to Ravenfall, we never forget our own." A strange chill ran through him. As he drove into the town, fog curled around his headlights. Unlike the ghost towns he usually visited, Ravenfall was not abandoned. Lanterns glowed in windows. Silhouettes moved behind curtains. Figures walked along sidewalks slowly, silently, as if time itself had dulled. But something was wrong. No cars, no voices, no modern signs of life, only the quiet. Then he saw her, a young woman in a pale blue dress standing beneath a lamppost, hands clasped before her, eyes hollow with sorrow. She stared at him not with curiosity, but recognition. Ethan rolled down his window. "Hey, do you know if there's a place to stay in town?" She didn't speak. She simply lifted her arm and pointed down the road. At an old inn, Ravenfall Inn. Ethan parked in front of Ravenfall Inn, its wooden sign swaying in the wind. The building looked like it hadn't changed in 100 years. Lace curtains, brass lanterns, rain-stained walls. He stepped inside. A bell above the door gave a soft ting. The lobby was dimly lit only by oil lamps. Behind the counter stood an elderly woman with silver hair neatly tied back, her face expressionless. Ethan forced a smile. "Good evening, do you have a room available?" She stared at him for a long moment, then slowly nodded. "You're just in time," she whispered. Her voice was barely more than breath. Before midnight, she slid a heavy brass key across the counter. The tag read, "Room 6. Will I need to check out early?" Ethan asked. Her eyes flickered fear, sadness, something else. "Just stay inside after midnight," she said. "And whatever you hear, do not open the door." Ethan tried to laugh it off. "Storm that bad, huh?" But she didn't smile. She simply turned and disappeared into a hallway without a sound. Room 6 was small but clean. Floral wallpaper, a rocking chair, a window overlooking Main Street. Ethan sat on the bed and opened his journal. He wrote, "Ravenfall, a town untouched by time. Strange people, no cars, no voices. Feels like everyone is waiting for something." Suddenly, a child's voice echoed faintly outside his window. "Go home." Ethan's head snapped up. A little boy stood across the street, staring up at his window, completely still. The rain poured over him, yet he didn't move. His eyes full of fear. "Go home," he repeated. "It's almost midnight." Before Ethan could react, the boy vanished, gone. Inside the inn, a clock chimed in the hallway. 11:57 p.m., 3 minutes to midnight. Then, footsteps, slow, dragging, in the hallway outside his door. Scrape, shuffle, scrape. Someone or something was moving through the inn. 11:59 p.m. Ethan froze. The footsteps outside his door were slow. Heavy, not human. Scrape, drag, scrape. They stopped right outside room 6. He held his breath, then knock. A single, dull knock on the door, not polite, not urgent, like something testing the wood. He remembered the old woman's warning, "Whatever you hear, do not open the door." Ethan stayed silent. Knock, this time softer, followed by a whisper, "Let me in." The voice was wrong, broken. Like multiple voices speaking through one mouth, Ethan gripped the edge of the bed. He didn't dare speak. Minutes crawled by, then the voice changed. It became a child, fragile, crying, "Mister, please, I'm cold, please open." His heart clenched. It sounded exactly like the boy outside, but Ethan did not move, because buried under that innocent cry was breathing, heavy, monstrous breathing. -12:14 a.m. The handle of the door twisted once. Twice, slowly, Ethan backed away, pressing himself into the corner. No lock, no chain, just him and an old wooden door. The whisper became a growl. Something pressed against the door, sniffing. "You don't belong here. You're still alive." And then silence, total, perfect silence. He waited an hour before collapsing on the bed. At some point, he fell into a restless sleep and dreamed. He was standing in the middle of Main Street, but the town was burning. People screaming, black, ash-like figures dragging souls into the fire, and above it all, a tall, eyeless figure whispered, "Ravenfall keeps what enters after midnight." Ethan woke with a gasp. 6:45 a.m., sunlight, birds, normalcy, relief washed over him until he noticed something under the door. A paper, handwritten, shaking, he picked it up. It read, "You made it through the first night. Do not stay another." Signed, Room 3, but Room 3 was empty. He had seen it, boarded shut, dust, covered, abandoned, morning light, but no safety. Ethan rushed downstairs. The innkeeper sat silently, staring at a newspaper. He looked pale, trembling, as if he hadn't slept. Ethan placed the note on the table. "Who wrote this?" he asked. The innkeeper refused to touch it. Finally, with a shaky voice, he said, "If you saw them, you must leave before tonight. Ravenfall doesn't like survivors." Ethan frowned. "What is Ravenfall?" The man looked up with empty eyes. "A graveyard town. We don't live here. We endure here." A Main Street daylight ghosts. Ethan walked through the town. In the daylight, it looked normal. But something was wrong. No one talked, no laughter, no children playing. People moved like shadows, silent, empty, soulless. An old butcher stood outside his shop. Ethan approached. "Excuse me, what happened here?" The butcher didn't blink. "Once a year, the town chooses. Those who hear the knock must answer. If they don't, something else answers." Before Ethan could ask more, the butcher slowly turned his back and whispered, "Leave before sunset, or leave forever." The library buried truth. Ethan found the old town library, dusty, abandoned, still open. Inside, every clock was frozen at midnight. He found an old journal, Ravenfall Settlement Records, 1893. Its pages told the story. This town made a bargain. To survive the famine, they offered their dead, but hunger grew and the town offered the living. Now every year on one night, they come knocking. Names were listed. All crossed out, last name, Ethan Blackwell his own. He dropped the book. How he had never been here, never met anyone, yet the town knew his name. Returned to the inn, the final warning. Ethan ran back to pack his things. The innkeeper stood in front of room 6, holding a suitcase. "For you," he said. "I didn't pack this." Ethan replied. The man's eyes were wet. "You won't remember packing it. That's their trick. But listen to me, do not fall asleep before leaving. If you dream again, they will keep you." Ethan grabbed the suitcase and rushed to his car. The road was empty, no wind, no birds, just silence. The last turn at the town's exit sign, he saw it. "Ravenfall, we keep our own." He pressed the accelerator. Trees blurred past, finally, freedom, or so he thought. 3 days later, home, Ethan sat at his desk, writing his report, trying to make sense of it all. He barely remembered details, only fragments. The inn, the knock, the whisper, "You made it through the first night." Maybe it was a dream, a hallucination. He checked his phone. No photos of the town, no recordings, only one file, audio, timestamp, 12:00 a.m. Ravenfall. With shaking fingers, he pressed play, static, then a voice, his own voice. "Please, whoever finds this, don't stay, don't take room 6. They don't kill you. They keep you." Then knock on the audio. Then knock on his front door, real, close. Slowly, Ethan turned toward the door. A voice whispered from behind it, "You made it through the first night. Now open the door. The end."